Yeah, I'm on YouTube and on TikTok, but I'm going to shut up TikTok. Yeah, just donate if you feel better. Okay. Really nice to meet the new people. Always a pleasure to see folks whose names I recognize. I'll see you next time. Bye. Boop. All righty. There we go. I don't know why it makes that silly voice. There we go. Hello, Calm. Hello, Kim Harris. Coffee and Calm. I love it. I'm tea and calm right here. Mm-hmm. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. You get caught up in the moment and then you look and you realize it's already 1:00 in the afternoon. Time, she flies. She does. So we'll wait for people to come over. What I will do, TikTok, silly thing, is I will plug in my phone that I was just on. Oh, there we go. Kara, good on you, as my mother would say. My mother says a wicked lot of things. Laying down now, that was enough already. Yeah, that was enough activity. Dawn, nice to see you. Becca Lee, Marietta. Yay. Excuse me. I have a little wonky thing in my throat. Let me just do this so I don't choke. Okay. So let me just do this real quick as we're waiting for other people, because this will be a good thing. I know you guys will appreciate it. Is I will start to download the recording of that TikTok live that I just did. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that was yesterday's. Okay, let me just do this. There we go. The sooner you started, the sooner we go there. All righty. Kim Harris, nice to see you twice. Boing, here you are, hopping over like a frog, or maybe a bunny, or whatever hopping kid you like. All righty. So people, good stuff. Thank you. Kelly Smith, love the back-to-back lives. I like it too. What is that? Manly, yes, but I like it too. I think it was Irish Spring shampoo. Soap, which I don't think they're going to be making anymore. Random stuff. I sometimes like these too, because really the only reason I do the TikTok lives, frankly, is that's an easier way where more people can easily find me. But I really prefer, I enjoy both of them equally, but it's different. So it makes it easier to say to somebody, hey, can you jump over here? Versus saying, I know we're over here, but in hours to do that. But I like to mix it up. I will actually, speaking of mixing it up, let's all take a look at the secret page, shall we? The magic screen, the secret page. Okay. Monday, September 20th. Okay. Yep. I got to update that. All right. We're doing good. 1 p.m. YouTube. 1 p.m. YouTube. Yay. Laura Voorhees. Yes, this Yankee says y'all. You know what? Nobody's going to judge. We'll make you think of Carla. All right. So we have some time together. And I would really love, you don't have to do what I love, but I would really love to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and meeting yourself where you are today. There we go. See, Kara, without even asking, because I was thinking of her. Kara's not feeling well physically. So she is spending this time taking care of herself. I'm on the bed with my two 16-pound kitties. They love it. Yay. There are times when you need to spend more time taking care of your human body. If you don't, you're going to feel worse and it's going to take longer. It's like trying to drive a car without gas in it. So yay, Kara, for doing that. So everybody, take a quick scan from the crown on down. Yes, Dawn is saying get a drink and hydrate, everybody. Hydrate. You know? So hydrate. Do what you can to make yourself feel better physically now. Maybe that's spending some of this thing, because I don't see you. You could spend your time stretching and bending and twisting, things like that. I think that was the mail carrier. So there's that. But if you're feeling okay physically and you're doing something to calm down your nervous system so you're feeling better, how about, this is what I think is the coolest thing, is when people actively declutter. And primarily it will be surface clutter or maybe a doom bag, as we talked about doom bags on the TikTok live. And for those of you watching the recording who are not hopping over from TikTok, a doom bag is an acronym for didn't organize, only moved. So let me add my husband. Bobo. So anyhow, I'm just going to eavesdrop for a minute. Okay. I think he was just picking up a package. It has been a loud day in suburbia, I will say. Mowing of the lawns. But I digress. How are you feeling physically? What can you do to quiet down your nervous system? My nervous system totally gets activated by annoying noises, like the lawnmowers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that. I'm going to shut my window. Do something to calm down your nervous system as I do this for me, okay? See, that didn't take much time at all. Oh, and I feel better already. Now, I do have one of the windows cracked open because I like the fresh air. So if you're feeling good physically and you calm down your nervous system, loudly purring kitties. See, now that's a good feeling. That's a good sound. But the whir of all these mowers and stuff just annoys me. Noise annoys, as the Buzzcocks once famously said. Why not play along at home? These things I tell you, it's funny. Very few people test out my theories and prove me wrong. I feel kind of sassy about that. I'm offering to you to see with what I do works. So I offer to you surface clutter on a surface or in a doom bag. Why not putter and declutter, as I like to say? Why not use this time to practice what I am preaching to see if it works for you? Because here's the great thing about this. When you declutter in real time with me, it's much like the decluttering parties we have. When you get stuck, I'm here to help you get unstuck, like right at that very juncture where you realize, oh, this is what's stopping me. So the funny thing is, this is like basically free coaching right here. So if you want to declutter, please do. Please declutter while we're doing this. All right. In the meantime, if you don't want to, if you have any questions about decluttering, I'm always there to help the head, but I really love it when you get the hands involved because you may not know why you're not decluttering, but man, the fastest way to find out why you're not doing something is to start it, because who shows up but the backseat driver? And she or he or it is just like going to tell you why. Don't do that. Stop. What if something bad happens? Don't do that. You're doing it the wrong way. This is going to be painful. This is going to take forever. So notice one of the ways that you can out yourself to kind of conjure up the reason for you not decluttering is by starting the process. Man, is that voice going to pipe up? It's kind of funny. So I know I have to declutter the schedule, the decluttering schedule. I also, tomorrow's the first of the month. As a reminder, feel free to, you have access to your habit tracker. You can print that out today. I'm going to declutter my tea cup with my tea bag because it's getting kind of bitter. But let me ask you this, as I do ask to all of my one-on-one clients, anytime we meet for a coaching session, what do you want to work on today? You know? Yeah. What do you want to work on? Well, how can I help you today? I feel like I want to help Kara because Kara says this AM I slowly, notice the pace, put away 2 bags of laundry and decluttered below the bathroom sink. That plus the laundry may be all I have in me today, but that's okay. And I didn't even read you saying, but that's okay. It was in a different line, but I'm thinking, and that's okay. I'm thinking of showering. Yes, please, everybody. Man, if you don't have your health, if your physical body is not feeling good, it doesn't have to feel Olympic contender ready. It just has to feel not in pain. It has to feel okay. But if you're not feeling okay, then that's the stop. Like pretend, this is funny. I got this image, so I'm going to run with it. Pretend we're playing Candyland. Remember the game board with the little thing with all the different colored things? You've started and you want to step and it says, how are you feeling? If you're not feeling good, hang out here and do something until you feel better physically. The next step is if you're feeling better, there's the chutes and ladders too. You could do the chutes and ladders because yeah, you can try to climb up the ladder, but if you don't feel good, you're going to go back down to number one. But I used to love, I'm a sweet tooth, so I used to love Candyland. I don't even think we owned it. I think we played it at the neighbor's house. Do not go past one. Yes, slow and steady wins the race. Greta Garbo gave good face. Ladies with an attitude, fellas that were in the mood, right? But yeah, the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady, showing up. It's so boring. It's not dramatic at all. It's not like winning a marathon, but man, it's the good way to go. There we go. And yeah, Dawn, I mean, that's a thing. Long bubble bath soak can help sore muscles. Nice hot shower, comfortable clothes. Your physical body is the car in which you're moving your spirit around this world in. So if your car is broken down and not feeling good, you can't go anywhere until you repair your car. So make sure you're feeling good physically, also calming down of the nervous system. And your nerves and your senses are attached and they're in your body. So notice what you look at can also trigger a sense of overwhelm. Or whoever the frick is out there, how many lawns do we have, people? It's not even mine. Marietta. Okay, so notice what Marietta has discovered. All right, and I'm here with you, hon, okay? I know I'm in PA and you're in New Jersey. I'm not feeling okay because as I am going through these doom piles in my bedroom, it's reminding me of walking through my sister's bedroom after she passed away and taking in that giant mess she lived in while she was dying. Yeah. Notice when you're doing it, you triggered this memory and this feeling in you that isn't so great about your sister dying and that she was surrounded by a giant mess. Okay? So, Marietta, I am proud of you for realizing that. One of the things that might help is if you don't want to, I don't want it to sound harsh, it's just going to sound stark. If you don't want to die being surrounded by a giant mess, then let's start the decluttering now. So you're doing a good thing. Sometimes those things can be motivating to say, I don't want that to be me. She died surrounded by all sorts of mess. Not me. I don't want to be doing that. So, but notice the things that will come up. And notice you say it comes up. To me, it kind of wells up from your nervous system. That's okay to feel that way. You can recognize that, but it doesn't have to stop you. If anything, that could possibly encourage you to keep on going. Now, I will say this, as you're going through your doom piles, maybe you help by just chunking it down to one pile, picking one category and make some progress on that. And then you'll have less mess in that room and you will have moved towards your destination of not wanting to die surrounded by clutter everywhere. Now, this is really interesting too, because Marietta, you say, imagine dying surrounded by clutter everywhere. Well, you're doing that right now. You are imagining what it would feel like to be surrounded by clutter everywhere. And your imagination is causing your body to feel, I don't want that feeling. Maybe your sister, I'm just playing not devil's advocate, but on the flip side, maybe for some reason, your sister felt comforted by being surrounded by all that stuff as she passed away. Who knows? But notice this about you, Marietta. You are imagining that feeling. You're imagining yourself in that situation. This is what our imaginations are great for. You're imagining yourself in that situation and how that would feel. Well, as Kara just said, she's like one step ahead, like split ends. Imagine not surrounded by clutter. Imagine if you ended up being on your deathbed in that room, what do you want that room to feel like? You know, imagine the feeling, what it feels like because you just conjured it up. Our imaginations are powerful. Our brains, our imaginations can cause our physical body to feel something that is totally not even happening right now. When we know that, then we can play around with that. So imagine dying. Imagine how it would feel to not be surrounded by clutter. Now, some people think that feels good. Other people may be scared of it. It's going to be empty. Where's all my stuff? So, but notice it could feel really good, you know? Yeah. And Dawn, notice the clutter can make you feel things like my grandmother used to say she just wanted to burn down her otherwise beautiful house because the clutter made her feel that feeling of, I don't know what to do with it. So I just want to burn it all down. Uh-huh. Now, I love this, Dawn. Yay for you. I've done a bag. I've done a box, some surface stuff, and I am taking a break from my back. Hell to the yeah. Yeah. Checking in with yourself and noticing your back is not feeling good and doing something about that. See, this is the thing that I think a lot of people, there's a lot of coachy people out there who are more like bros and stuff, but being like, tough, suck it up, buttercup. Nobody's going to do it. You're going to do it to yourself. I kind of see that, but when you're not feeling well, do the thing to make you feel well. And when you feel better, you won't need to be yelling at yourself to get it done. Notice the reason why you're not doing it. And also congratulate yourself on what you have done, Dawn. You know, yay for Dawn doing a bag, a box, some surface stuff. And yay for stopping when it started to hurt to do something to make yourself, your body feel better. Good stuff. I personally don't want to be on my deathbed surrounded by clutter. I don't really care what items I'm surrounded by. If I go there, I want there to be space in a room where people can sit down, where people are comfortable, where I'm visited by people. Yeah. And notice that, yeah, and just as a note too, Dawn is also saying, notice if I don't stop now, I feel bad today, I would feel worse tomorrow. So notice the compounding effect of not stopping can then make you laid up for even longer than if you stop right now for a shorter amount of time, you will feel less. Hey, there we go. Okay, Laura Voorhees is making great progress. Yay, progress, moving forward. Found the stud finder, unwrapped the frame print, actions all leading towards her destination of hanging up this Van Gogh that she loves. I might need a second set of eyes and hands to get it up on the wall. That's a good thing to notice. Will it be easier if I have somebody to assist with this? So if so, then yeah, then you make a plan with the person. So yeah, some things it's okay to hang up yourself. Other times it can really benefit to have a second set of eyes or even just a second set of hands. Awesome for progress. Awesome for stopping when you're not feeling good, but also noting what you can do to make yourself feel better. I last week had to take 2 prescription migraine pills one day and the next day. I have struggled in the past with doing that, but I knew if I did it, I would feel better, and I did. And when I felt better, I did many other things better. And even just feeling better can feel awesome. So notice when you are resisting doing something that you know will make you feel better. Part of it may be that kind of tough it up buttercup. Me, I was afraid that it wouldn't work. Well, it's definitely not going to work if I don't take the pill. I was afraid that it meant that I was going to be having migraines for days on end. It was only 2 days. Yeah. Now, Laura Voorhees, Don Duncan is offering Scotch tape the back and mark the holes. If you don't have it wired, it's easier to level tape than a heavy picture. So there's some ideas right there. But notice yourself every day changes, how you feel, and how you feel affects what you do. Unless you try to make yourself into a robot or a zombie or an automated AI generated whatever, how you feel totally affects what you do and how you feel when you do it, or if you do anything at all. Again, I love that idea of like a factory, Like our bodies are a factory to get stuff created. And there are two departments that kind of are the ones that are given the orders to the factory floor where all the machines are, where it's moving the pieces. And those two departments are your head and your heart. Now they're separate, they're similar, and one definitely affects another, and the other one definitely affects the other. So notice the traffic light signals that you have. If it's green up here and it's red down here, but nobody's moving on the factory floor, it's because the heart said, no, you guys do not move. No. They may be saying it, but I don't, it doesn't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable with that. Okay. So then head, what can you say to make heart feel comfortable giving the green light to the hands moving and deciding and stuff like that? Really looking at it from that perspective as well. As a bunch of guys in, suits walking around, some voice saying, I don't feel comfortable with that. Why not? I'm afraid I will regret letting that thing go. I am afraid because there's somebody else up in the head who's kind of behind the scenes. You've got the guy who's making the plan, but you've got the one who's really ruling the roost up there. And it's the secret tiny thoughts behind the stuff. You've got the oblivious guy. Oh, all we need to do is do this, this, this. But then you've got the other guy being like, that's not going to work. Pay attention to the quiet voice that's sitting there being like, nope, it's not going to work. Because this guy can be making charts and pie graphs and Excel spreadsheets and PowerPoints and being, all we need to do is this and this and this and this and this. And it's going to be great. But if you have that one doubter in the room, it's not going to work. No. That's the voice you want to turn to and say, ooh, what's up with that? Why don't you think this is going to work? I don't want it to. Why not? Now, this is where the fear comes in. Yeah. So I offer to you, just think of it that way. You're in a room surrounded by people. Your head, your thinker has a direct line to how you feel. A lot of your plans could be a good idea, but that one voice, it's like, nope, will stop the entire factory from creating what you want. So maybe the voice is doing it in kindness. Nope. You know why we're not going to do that today? Because we don't feel good. Have you noticed the people on those hands are shaking? I know there's a million songs with hands shaking, but the body doesn't feel good. The guys are overworked on the factory floor. So we're going to give them a day off. We're going to let them go early. They worked enough this week. Kara's guys worked hard this morning. Even when they didn't feel well, we're giving them a half a day. Okay. Hey. Now, I love this. Kara says, my husband told me he thought our house was zen the other day. I love that feeling. That doesn't include the garage, but it's headed that way. Yeah, I aspire to zen. And what is zen? Think about it. Zen is a 3-letter word, begins with a Z, has an E and an N, but it describes a feeling. Notice even when I was describing it, I sat up a little bit taller, changed how my body was. Ooh, I like that feeling. Versus, nope, not going to happen. Notice even that is kind of the C curve, the protecting of the feeling part, the protecting, but you're like, ooh, zen. Oh, I could breathe better. When I look around, everything's quiet because it's not yelling at me to put it away or do something with it. It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's full of peace. I know where everything is. If I need to use it, I know where it is. Isn't that cool? Now, I'm sure visually, my house could be a lot more zen looking, but I have a zen feeling in it. Yeah. Yes, and this is cool. Kara says, you notice the MCM, the mid-century modern bones of our house with less stuff, but the right stuff in it. We removed lots of clutter and kept the stuff we loved. Yeah. Now, sometimes the bones of your house, for example, aren't anything that is going to be part of the delight of your house. But I say any space can be improved by keeping the stuff you love and letting go of the rest. You'll have more space to go like this and not knock anything down. Maybe you want to lie down on the floor and, stretch your back. Maybe you want to put a coffee cup down, but you don't have a place to put it. I'm not saying you have to be empty or zen. Yes, and I know our house is very unusual. Yeah, but that's cool. You love your unusual house. You want to see it. There's a reason you bought that house and not like a Cape Cod. A Cape Cod. Can you tell I'm out of Massachusetts now because I would have just called it a Cape. But yeah, how does your house make you feel? And notice when your house makes you feel that way, it's really your eyes. What you see causes you to feel something. Because when you close your eyes, I mean, your body does this. When it gives you clutter blindness, it does that for survival mode. Because it knows that if it looks at everything, it is going to feel overwhelmed. So it says, I don't want to overwhelm you. So I'm just going to make those things invisible to you. Well, that can be good until all of a sudden you kind of suddenly begin to see the things. Because just because you don't see it anymore doesn't mean it's not there. It means you've become oblivious. You've become blind to it. And as we said on the TikTok live earlier, then suddenly when you see it, you can be surprised because it's built up so much. There is a lot of, I know this may sound kind of advanced or whatever. There is some kindness going on even with your backseat driver. I mean, did you notice that scenario? I was totally picturing one of the conference rooms in my old corporate job and imagining that person who's saying, no, that's not going to work. Sometimes that was me. I was very contrarian. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Arrow girl. Nice to see you, Lisa. It can be, it's your body trying to help you feel better. If you look at stuff all the time and you feel awful, your body's like, well, what if we just make it so she can't see it? Then she won't feel bad if she can't see it. But there's a difference between it being there and feeling bad about it when you do see it, or looking at something and feeling good because you did something with it, that maybe the bag is not even there, is also a way to not have it in your line of vision. It's self-preservation. Notice the guy in the office that was like, no, don't do anymore. We're not going to make that. Kara could have made a plan left, right, and center. But her body was like, no, this is actually you, a part of you taking care of you in a way that actually does work out. Because you can override, you can ignore the backseat driver who says, no, don't do it. But that's really actually technically, it's not really your backseat driver. Your backseat driver is the one who would probably be like, no, we made a plan and we're going to stick to it because I'm afraid I'm going to get in trouble if I don't do my plan. Somebody's going to be mad at me if I don't do the plan. Your co-pilot is love. Your co-pilot is the boss you want, who recognizes, who sees how you've been working and also notices that you're not feeling good. So your boss, your co-pilot voice says, you did enough today. Feel good about what you did, and I'm going to give you a half a day. And if you don't feel well tomorrow, no big deal. Come in when you feel better. I mean, be a really cool boss to yourself. Manager, not even boss. Boss is bossy. But notice, you want to be that kind of leader. That's, to me, what you want to respond to. Not fear and doing it no matter how much it hurts. That's one way of, dragging yourself into the ground. And this is the neat thing too about clutter blindness. That was a self-preservation move only because, frankly, and I'm not saying it to just say it, you didn't know what to do with it. Now you may not still know what to do with it, but hello, guess who does? It's me. And I show up literally 10 hours a week for free to be available to you to ask me questions about why you're stuck. And I do this willingly and happily and without a lot of resentment, because as soon as I start get resentful, I change what I do because I don't want to feel that way. So I offer to you. You have habits that got you cluttered, but you right now are at a fork in the road. because you know that there is a different way to approach thinking and feeling and acting with your stuff. Once you see that, it can never go away. The road will always have a fork in it. Now you are making a conscious decision to continue doing what you've been doing all along. Again, I don't stand there with the sign on attorney thing that says stop and you have to go this road. I'm just there kind of at the middle of the road being, you've got two places. You're free to go in the way you've always done it. But if you don't want to do that, if you don't like the results of driving that way, you can stop at any time and start something else. And I am here at that fork in the road to walk you through the process so that as you go down that road, you feel more confident in learning that new way. Pretty cool, I think, especially as somebody who used to write books about travel and helping people to get, Route 66, that type of thing. Having a guide. Every single one of us needs helpers, or not even needs. How about could benefit greatly from having somebody help you do something you're struggling with, or frankly, that you maybe just don't enjoy. Like I am talking to a travel planner because there are parts of traveling that I used to enjoy more than I do. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I want somebody else to make it happen. And I just show up. So it's okay to not know how to do something. And it's okay to need help, because when you need help, there you go. All right. So I am going to boop. I just mistakenly saw some emails. I'm not going to trigger my distraction or nervous system about increasing health insurance. May not happen. Who knows? But man, what a year. What a fucking year. But I digress. The cool thing about coaching and declutter coaching right now, too, frankly, is to really also kind of pull the curtain off, reveal what's behind this too. Look at how often we're noticing how things make us feel, and they can make us feel paralyzed, or we can be temporarily paralyzed, but then learn to do something there to get into action, to start doing something to change what we don't want, to help ourselves and to help other people. Okay? So I am here really as a life coach to you to walk you through whatever the F is going on in our country right now, to get yourself out of fear, get yourself out of overwhelm, get yourself out of paralyzingness and into good trouble, as John Lewis would say. Get into action that is going to lead to the what you want, which to me, if you're hanging out with me, is going to be love and encouragement and support of all people, not just a select pale few. This really is the lesson we're learning right now, and thank freaking God, because if you don't learn it now, you're not going to be able to help. Yeah. And every little thing you can do to help is a good thing. Don't let anybody tell you that little steps don't make a big difference. The people who are telling you that are afraid you're going to take those little steps and you will shift the dynamic. So notice the people who are trying to make you afraid of shit that's not even happening. Because when you are in fear, you are controllable. You are paralyzed. You're not out voting. You're not out protesting. You're not out helping. You're not out seeing, is what they're telling me to be afraid of really worth being afraid of? I highly encourage you to flip the bird to the people who are trying to make you afraid and say, I'm not afraid. Yeah. And Wendy is saying, getting off TikTok helped me keep my sanity in check. I have to keep my exposure to political stuff to a minimum. Yep. Notice how it makes you feel. We have days where we don't watch anything political. I needed the break from it some days. And I totally 100% get that. What I also offer you, though, is much like clutter. If you don't take action to do something to counter it, it will continue to grow into something bigger. So, yep. there is that self-preservation, but there is a difference between putting your head in the sand and also saving your nervous system so you can shift gears from fear into action. So I offer that that is really the next step. It's not just getting out of fear, but feeling better and doing something, because the only way anything is going to change is if we are agents of change, whatever that means. If we do something. I have done more in the past 8 years, 10 years, politically, being aware. That is nothing I ever did in any other decade of my life. Has it made a difference? I choose to believe it has. Even just in the story I tell myself of, hey, Auntie Beth, what happened during those dark years in, 2016 to 20, hopefully just 25, but who knows? What did you do in the war? Did you put your head in the sand? Did you hide or did you help? Did you hurt or did you help? Did you hurt other people by your inactivity? Or did you help people with your, what's the word I want to use? Did you help people with your stuff that you have, your privilege? Okay. Yes. Yep. And every little bit you can help to move in the direction that you want it is going to have a cumulative effect. So notice what we're learning here about not being overwhelmed about stuff in your house, and learning how to not get overwhelmed about your stuff and get into action is a wonderful kind of test ground to get yourself out of overwhelm and into, moving stuff out of your living room. Yeah. Laura Voorhees just vacuumed. For me, that is a good surface declutter because my eyes aren't drawn to every crispy leaf that has fallen or tumbleweed of kitty fur. Yeah, so notice you feel good in a room that is vacuumed more frequently. Yep, activism, show kindness to people in many ways, cookies, cash, helping friends, standing up for those who can't do it for themselves. Yeah. We have the privilege, you guys. Let's not be, and I'll just speak for myself because I don't know anybody else's. I am a white suburban woman, but I don't want to be one of those white suburban women who does not help other people with the privilege. My privilege is, frankly, that in the 10 hours a week that I am basically giving free coaching to people to help regulate their nervous system, I can do that because I'm not afraid of where my next meal is coming from. I am doing this more. I am showing up more for the free folk who may not be able to afford one-on-one coaching with me, and also to frankly build a library of help for people who may not catch me live, but they happen to stumble across what I do and know that there's a way to get out of fear and overwhelm and paralyzing, and out of that and shifting gears into something else more beneficial. So all of us dealing with clutter, we have privilege. We have too much fucking stuff. And that's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's something to notice, especially when there are people who don't have enough for themselves. We have too much. They don't have enough. This is why we got to recalibrate it. And the people we really should be angry at, because anger is an energy, are the fucking billionaires who have more than so many people combined, and yet they still want more. They're not like, no, I'm good. Here, let's redistribute some of these billions that I will never spend in my rest of my life. No, those are the people to truly be angry at, not at your poor neighbor who's just trying to make a living mowing lawns, So this is why it's kind of fun that we can be kind of subversive, if you think about it. That to the surface, they think that we're just women trying to figure out how to make our homes look prettier. Really? We are revolutionaries. We are learning that we don't have to put up with what we put up with anymore in our own homes. We are awakening our power to say, I can do something about something that I used to just complain about that bugged me. If I notice something that I don't like, I can do something to change that. And the more people we have doing that, even in your own home, you can practice it kind of like in the comfort of your own home. Practice making decisions that lead towards the life you want to live, the world you want to live in. I don't want to live in a world with just boring people. I like variety, you know? Yeah, there's a quote. Yeah, that one, Dawn, exactly. The quote about never underestimate the power of a few good people. Yeah, but when good people, because we are feeling creatures, get spooked into freeze, or we're told over and over again that what they're doing isn't working, that isn't fucking helpful. So notice, good people are feeling people, and feeling people can be over feeling and then it can shut down. So this is why you're taking care of yourself, your physical health, your nervous system is more important than ever nowadays, because there are people actively, literally, this is spam in my mailbox that is telling people who are unaware to vote no when we should be voting yes. That they are, keeping us free, oh, sexual predators, defend women and children. What the, I'm going to look up the Commonwealth versus Cosby PA to find out what they're using as reference, But if you're not aware, you may be like, oh, that might be bad. I'm going to vote no. Again, it's big scale and it's little scale. You can chunk it down to, if I don't like how my room looks with these bags of doom in it, I can practice doing something to change what bugs me, that corner of my room with a doom bag in it. I can do something to change that. And when I get in the habit and I practice those change muscles of decision and action and noticing how it feels in decision and action and stretching my comfort zone to do things I've never done before. I mean, even right now, having this conversation with you guys, this is nothing I would have ever done before in my life. Never had to. But now that we have to, I'm going there. And what I'm doing now is live with you all. And yet it's also going to be, if I think about it, if I was afraid that, somebody was going to come and hear me talking bad about what's going on, this is going to be published onto my YouTube channel to live for forever, or however long it's going to be. But that's okay, because I know I am speaking my truth, and I know that my truth comes from love, not fear, and love for everybody, Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Dawn. And also, Marietta. Yeah. Marietta says, thank you, Beth, for your kind words, because I had to go have a good sob about my little sister's death again. Grief does come in waves. You're right, hon. God bless and amen to us living our privilege as much as we can. Yes. And Dawn says, and so notice, Marietta, yeah, this is one of the reasons why we don't declutter a lot sometimes, is because we are afraid of the wave, being hit by a wave of grief and flomping down on the beach. Okay, but we're sending you big hugs, hon. Look, we got the good people here. Okay, we have the good people. But the cool thing is about the wave of grief, it's just like a wave on the ocean. It may whomp you down, but then it will recede. And then you get up and you may be stepping on a shell and you may be, got sand up your bathing suit, but you can get up and you'll be like, okay, that wasn't necessarily pleasant, but I got through it. And the thing is if you keep on trying to tamp it down, it's just going to be worse. Notice what you noticed, Marietta, about how your sister passed, how she was surrounded. You now know that you don't want that for yourself. And so you can change what you didn't like about how she left this world, the surroundings where she was, to increase the likelihood that you do not leave that mess for other people. Yeah. And look at all the big hugs you're getting, hon. These are the people that I want to, this is the world I want to see, is community, is people feeling safe enough to say, I'm struggling, and then not feeling judged, but saying, and people turning and saying, how can I help? Yeah. So this is what we do here. This is what I do. This to me is, and this is another thing too. This was interesting. Don Duncan saying about, kind of what I'm doing right now and how I'm doing it. And how I'm talking about political things, but also couching it in a way that also scales down into decluttering, because it's a good idea when it scales both ways. There's something there that can be effective no matter what level you're at. Now, Don Duncan says, then you will be published on the correct side of history if history is published. Yes, but what's more important to me is I'm not doing it for the off chance that somebody's going to know about Auntie Beth in the future. It's right now living that history. If I died tomorrow, what would I feel like as I was taking my last breath? Did I do good things? And so I kind of, put that, not heaviness, but that seriousness of death, or the finality that we all are going to get to. No matter how many billionaires there are, they will all die. We will all die. What do you want your life to have meant to yourself and to other people? What kind of life do you want to live before you die? And decluttering definitely affects this. Clutter affects how you feel physically, emotionally, how you move around your house, how you talk to yourself, whether you invite friends in. What you do, the life you have, is definitely affected by what you think and feel about your stuff. So let's notice that. Okay? Oh, yeah. And here, Laura Voorhees sends the softest cyber tissue here. Jermaine, hand me a tissue. Okay? Good people. Isn't it cool? Even in these dark times, good people will find each other and know you're not alone. Yeah. And yeah, Leslie says, always asking, what do I want? I was talking about this on a coaching call today. And I have the I underlined for the accent. Not like, what do I want? But what do I want? And it goes shallow and deep. I want to go take a shower after this. I want to feel better in my body. I want to put on another bra because this one, there's that. There's also, I want people who don't have the privilege that I have to not be harmed. And I want those people who have too much unearned privilege to be taken down a notch. Okay? Because the only way a society survives is by helping each other. And you and I, all of us, are just another blip on the timeline of the history of the world. There have been societies that have thought they were the shit, and then they went under. Maybe that's us, but not on my watch. Okay? So, yeah. Lisa S., thank you so much. I brought the bags to my room, put things away, tried on the new clothes, hung up the blouses, and put the pants in one bag for the tailor and one to return. The bags are at the door. My God, Lisa, I feel like you should have like a Wonder Woman cape on. That sounds like awesome stuff that you did. Yeah. So yay for you. I hope you feel Wonder Woman-y. Wonder Woman, all the world is waiting for you. And the powers you possess. I could sing it, but God, I have all the wrong notes. But you know what I mean. Linda Carter, Bullets and Bracelets, right? Narelle lives in Australia, and she says, yeah, watching from afar and shocked every day with what's happening there. Yeah, and we are too, but we're doing stuff about it. So Narelle, please know that there are many more. I choose to believe that there are more caring people than mean people. And even some of the people that are being mean, I think are being mean because they are afraid. They're afraid of change. They are afraid. They have been taught to be afraid of something they don't need to be afraid of because somebody else is profiting from it. Okay. Yep. Uh-huh. All right, Kathy M. You know what? I was off this site for months because it's negatively political. I'm not being negative. I'm being positive about what I want to see in the world. Hope to get back to actually decluttering. Yeah. Wish you had two separate sites. I'm only one person, and I think it's inauthentic for me to not talk about what's really going on. Okay, Kathy, there's other places for you then. And see ya. Okay. Yeah. Now, Wendy says, I want to participate in life. So I am glad of my declutter journey that has given me the freedom from the chains that the clutter had me in. Makes me want to grab my pin and wear it today. It's a Wonder Woman riding a unicorn. How cool is that? Yay. Yay, Marietta. And notice you felt the grief and you're decluttering now. I decluttered my vanity area, throwing away some items that expired in 2021. Awesome. Threw away at least 9 items. Every little bit helps. Okay. Yeah. Now, I love this. Lisa S., thank you. I do. I'm giving myself permission. Here's a permission slip to stop there for the day and move on. My back hurts and I'm hungry. Yes, notice those physical things. When you are hungry and you're scared and not feeling good, you're not going to do good stuff. So, yay for taking care of it. Yay. All righty. And Don Duncan says, I think protecting others is the opposite of negative. I do too. But you know what? People don't want to be seen on the wrong side of history. Yay, Kara just showered. Yay. Oh, and Marietta, what a good bub you have. What a good husband you have. My husband made me a giant cup of tea because I was so upset. Notice the good people in your life. Yeah. Pats on the backs. Yes, good stuff, people. Yes, and Kara totally gets the Smells Best award. She just showered, and I see the little the soap. I see pink, but I keep on thinking of Irish Spring. Yeah. Yep. So the times, they are changing. And I just want to encourage you that you're doing good stuff. And when you're helping yourself, look at ways you can help other people. Okay? So that's the world I want to live in. So that's what I create. And if it's not the world you want to live in, feel free to move along. There's plenty of other hateful places for them. Thank you. And I figure if I can be brave enough and stretch my comfort zone to talk about bigger things, then maybe you will get a little bit of my strength. Yes. Can you almost smell the Irish Spring, Wendy? Yeah. Manly, yes, but I like it too. And they would take a little, I almost said a switchblade, like a little pocket knife, and like carve it out to show that the white and green stripes were in there. I've heard that people said that you could put Irish Spring in and it's supposed to keep bugs out of your camper. I can actually taste it. Oh, funny. Laura Voorhees is an Irish Spring scented man. Yes. And the backstroke for the Coast commercial. I love that. I love that. Yes, I remember being so excited when Coast came out. I can almost smell that too. It was one of the years I went to camp, and that was I felt cool because I had the cool new soap. Yay. Good stuff. Okay. Yay. Marietta's feeling better. Nothing wrong with a cup of tea and a good hubs. Plus, I just got a new face kit with all my favorite Guerlain products. So I wanted to make room for better products I just received from Poshmark. Yes. So maybe you're in the position of upgrading, you know, upgrading. I'm kind of doing that in my life, noticing things I want, and I'm cool with a lot of stuff, but what are some things I want to make room to have an upgrade? You know, I'm going to talk about travel. I mean, hello, Kara, lie down flat seats. Okay. Yeah. Leslie, it is all connected, but some people don't want to be connected. They want to silo themselves. And you know what? You do you. Yay. And Lady Bandit took a break and had a bowl of ice cream. It makes everything better. Oh, trust me. I love ice cream. That sounds good. Yeah. Yes. And what I will say, Cheryl Lopez, I think this is one of the things I hope you understand about where I'm coming from. So Cheryl is saying it's not easy to focus on clutter when we have so much injustice now. Nevertheless, we can make our lives easier. And what I want to offer to you is when you are decluttering, you are building your strength and muscle to remember that you have the power to change something you don't like. If you don't declutter, you're not deciding. And when you're decluttering, you're saying more of this and less of that and taking an action to increase the likelihood that that will happen. Okay. And on the flip side, or tangentially, or I don't know where it is, when you declutter, it can also provide a safe haven for your brain to temporarily, happily block out all the shit that's going on. It can be a refuge from the chaos of the world to spend 20 minutes looking at your, stuff and trying to figure out what to do and feeling like you made a difference in your silverware drawer is also the way you make a difference in the world. is saying, I don't like how it is. How would I like it to be? And let me do some things to get there. Yeah. And completely, Kara. And it's so, every little bit helps. And Kara is doing work in her community. I have a sign out on my lawn. Everybody's doing what they can. And I do not judge you. But what I say is, if you practice saying, what kind of world do I want to live in? And you create that world in your home, your nervous system will feel less triggered when you decide to take action to stretch out that concept of what I want my world to be into the world outside of the four walls of my home. And it really is, to me, so important that we don't use making our house perfect and all that as ignoring what's going on and hopefully not buying into it, but building our muscles so that we can notice immediately when something isn't the way we want it, because we're so attuned to it to see what bugs us in our house and doing something about it, that you can shut it down in a minute. And also with very little anxiety. I mean, look at how we had somebody in who was like, oh, you're not making me feel good. All right, whatever. To be able to let go of those things and not get worked up by it. This is a survival skill. It is a life skill on a good day, and it is a freaking survival skill. So let's survive together. Let's live together. Let's thrive together. All those words. By reminding ourselves that we can do things. We have in the past done things to change what we don't like. Even if we don't have much of an example of that, we can use the decluttering of our home as a gym, as a workout to build the muscles. And at the same time, stretch the muscles, expand the nervous system. Okay? Yes. And Marietta says, true. I love it. Lady Bandit has got a new job that is good for your soul. Yeah. How does your soul feel? I'm helping others and loving it. That's what I'm doing right now, and I freaking love it. Marietta says it's easier giving stuff away, realizing others are really suffering right now. Yeah. So instead of us complaining about too much, we recognize our privilege of having too much, and we can show what kind of rich people we are. We redistribute our wealth, our abundance. We know that having too much doesn't make you feel a billion times better. In fact, you can see evidence of when it doesn't, because you know who's sending out these things? A freaking billionaire here in Pennsylvania. He doesn't need the money. He's an unhappy person. He wants to make other people unhappy. We know there's a different way about it. Knowing when it feels good and enough, and happily sharing your deli tray with other people, because you can only eat so many hoagies. Okay? So I love these lives because, much like the ocean, it's never the same place twice. Never, ever the same place twice. What was that? Like some discount place. Yeah. And here's a cool thing. Don Duncan says, it's great when you donate and see people in the shop buying stuff that would otherwise have just stressing me out and collecting dust. Yeah. Yeah. So good stuff, people. We're doing good things. And I want you to hold that with you. I want you to say, I'm going to treat my body kindly and my soul kindly today. All right. You're not alone. And this decluttering is beneficial to build your decision-making muscle and your response and your actions to what you don't want. All right. So yay. Yes. Good stuff, people. Thank you for allowing me to expand upon that stuff, because I think it's so important. Now I'm going to shift gears because it's 1:59 or 1 o'clock, whatever. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, TikTok Live, YouTube Live. Tomorrow night, there's one. Then next week, I'm taking a couple of days off, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm off the digital grid. Okay, so I don't want you guys. I highly recommend, please, people in the Pen Pal Club, get in touch with each other. Don't use me as the only means of connection. Start to connect with each other and offer your help. Even if you don't need help, be like, I'm feeling good. Does anybody want a declutter buddy? Is anybody feeling low? I'm here. I hope that's going on, but I just want to encourage it. Okay. I want to give you courage to stretch your nervous system, to reach out to somebody who already said, here's my email address. I'd like to hear from people. Don't be afraid. They're good people. Okay. What I'm afraid of is wetting my pants here. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Have a good day. You're rocking it. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. Okay. Bye.